What makes everyday materials surprisingly combustible? Imagine lighting a candle and then realizing that many things around you can catch fire just as easily. It might surprise you, but everyday items are often more flammable than you think. The reason is that many common materials contain organic compounds or structures that ignite and burn when exposed to enough heat, oxygen, and an ignition source. Combustibility depends on what the material is made of, its physical form, and the environment around it. Materials like wood, paper, fabrics, plastics, and even some liquids such as oils and solvents are all capable of catching fire. When heat is applied, these materials releases volatile gases or vapors that mix with oxygen in the air. Once these vapors reach a certain concentration and meet an ignition source, like a spark or flame, they ignite and cause a fire. For liquids like gasoline or paint thinner, it's often the vapors that ignite rather than the liquid itself. This can lead to rapid fire spread if vapors build up in a confined space. The physical form of a material plays a big role in how easily it ignites. Finely divided materials like dust, fibers, or powders have a larger surface area exposed to oxygen. This makes them more likely to ignite quickly and burn intensely. Think about how dust from flour or sawdust can cause explosions if it's suspended in the air and ignited. Storage conditions are also key. Keeping combustible materials near heat sources, in poorly ventilated spaces, or in large quantities can create dangerous environments. For example, storing oily rags in a confined space can lead to spontaneous ignition because the heat generated by chemical reactions isn't able to escape. Liquids that emit flammable vapors, like alcohol or solvents, can ignite even if the liquid isn't directly exposed to heat. Sometimes materials are treated with chemicals like flame retardants or coatings to reduce their combustibility. But untreated or degraded materials remain as highly combustible and pose a fire risk. Fire safety and prevention strategies focus on recognizing these risks. Firefighters know that storing combustible materials properly, in approved containers, and away from ignition sources is vital. Proper ventilation helps disperse vapors and reduces the chance of ignition. Regular removal of combustible debris, controlling ignition sources, and using the right fire extinguishers for different materials are all important steps. Fire hazard assessment involves checking how materials are stored and used, and making sure they are safe. Understanding why everyday materials are surprisingly combustible helps us prevent fires before they start. It's all about awareness and careful handling to keep everyone safe.